Hi, if you're new here, my name is Rahul. I'm not a financial advisor or a guru. I'm just someone learning in real time and sharing what I'm figuring it out along the way. At the start of this year, I set a simple 90-day goal for myself. One YouTube video every week, no excuses. This is my fifth video, which means I've completed about 30 days so far. The reason I'm doing this publicly is simple. It keeps me accountable, it forces me to think clearly, and it helps me stay consistent instead of overthinking everything in private. This channel is about documenting what I'm learning about money, investing, work, mindset, health, and rebuilding things step by step. So, in this video, I want to share some of the financial mindsets I've learned so far and that I'm still learning. So I will be sharing 10 financial mindsets that helped me in my journey and I learned it the hard way. We'll start with the first one. Everything compounds. When people hear the word compounding, they only think about money. But compounding applies to everything: habits, skills, health, relationships, and yes, investments. Small actions done consistently over time beat big actions when done once. That's why Warren Buffett is such a powerful example. He didn't become wealthy overnight. In fact, most of his wealth came later in life, after decades of letting money compound. You can explain compounding with a simple example. Would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? By day 10, the penny is only worth $5.12. By day 20, it's a little over $5,000. And by day 30, it will be $5.37 million. And if you go for one more day, it will be $10.74 million. That's mind blowing, and that's how the compounding works. This scenario illustrates that while small, consistent growth seems insignificant at first, like the penny in the first week, its doubling effect over time leads to enormous sums. So, over the long term, the person who started earlier often ends up more, even if they invested less. Moving on to the next point. Never question spending on education, health, charity, and food. There are some areas where I don't overthink money. Education is one of them. Books, learning, courses, skills. If I'm confident something will genuinely add value to my work or my thinking, I don't see it as an expense. I see it as an investment. Health is non negotiable. If you lose your health, every other investment becomes irrelevant. Food matters too. Good food supports energy, focus, and long term health. Cheap decisions here usually show up as expensive problems later on. And charity keeps perspective. It reminds me that money is a tool, not an identity. These are the few areas where I don't try to optimize or cut corners. Moving on to the third one. Always be buying. This mindset changed how I look at markets. I buy gold and silver regularly. I bought silver when it was cheaper. I am still buying now that it's more expensive. Why? Because I'm not buying to sell next month or next year. I'm buying with a 10-year mindset or longer. If prices go down, I buy more. If prices go up, I still buy my minimum. What matters is the habit, not the price. Trying to time the perfect entry usually leads to doing nothing. So consistency beats waiting. Moving on to the fourth one. Thinking long term over short term. Most stress in investing comes from short term thinking. Short term opportunities exist, but they come with higher risk, higher emotions, and usually more mistakes. Long term investing gives you time to recover from bad decisions and market drops and external shocks. Every serious investor I've studied eventually says the same thing. Time in the market matters more than timing the market. So I choose investments I'm comfortable holding through ups and downs, not things I'll panic about tomorrow. Now, moving on to the fifth one, which is very important. Pay yourself first. Most people get paid and immediately pay everyone else first. Rent, bills, subscription, lifestyle. Then they try to save or invest whatever is left. Usually, nothing is left. This mindset flipped for me after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. Paying yourself first means investing first, debt repayment first, future first. Even if it's $100, it matters. Once you do that, your lifestyle naturally adjusts to what's left. That constraint forces better decisions without willpower. Moving on to the sixth one. Nothing is guaranteed. There is no such thing as a guaranteed investment. Any asset can go down, some can go zero. That's why mindset matters more than optimism. When I invest in a volatile asset, I only allocate what I'm prepared to lose, maybe 2 to 5% of my portfolio. If it works, great. If it doesn't, my foundation remains intact. If someone promises guaranteed returns, that's usually a warning sign. The goal isn't certainty, the goal is resilience. Moving on to the seventh one. Save, just save, no matter what. This one is simple, but it's hard for most people. No matter where you are in your life, you save. It doesn't matter if you're earning very little. It doesn't matter if it's an entry level job. It doesn't matter if it's a part time job. If you wait for the right income to start saving, that day usually never comes. Saving isn't about the amount, it's about building the habit. Even small savings create confidence, they create options, they create breathing room. Your future self will not care how small you started, they'll care that you started at all. Going for the eighth one. Respect the mess. There is no one right answer. Money is messy. Investing is messy. Saving is messy. You might save for months, then need to pull out money for an emergency. That's not a failure, that's life. What matters is that you put the money back when you can. There is no one correct path. Your goals are different from mine. Your timeline is different from someone else's. Comparing portfolios is pointless. What matters is having a number in mind. Maybe it's financial independence, maybe it's retirement, maybe it's stability. Once you have that number, everything else becomes direction, not pressure. You will definitely make mistakes. Some investments will fail, some will go to zero, and that's part of the learning curve. The key is learning without destroying yourself financially. Now listen to me carefully. If you can't handle a $500 mistake, you won't handle a $5,000 mistake. And you definitely won't handle a $5 million one. So start small, learn, adjust, and repeat. Now we move to ninth point. Protect the downside first. Most people focus only on upside. How much can I make? How fast can this grow? I think the opposite way first. What's the worst case scenario? Before I invest, I ask, if this goes badly, can I survive it? That's why position size matters. High risk ideas should stay small, 5%, 10% at most. If it works, great. If it doesn't, your foundation stays intact. Survival matters more than brilliance. And if you stay in the game long enough, compounding does the rest. Now we move on to our last point. Avoid shiny object syndrome. This one is huge. There will always be something new, a new stock, a new ETF, a new asset class, or maybe a new tip from a friend. Chasing everything usually leads to owning nothing properly. Shiny objects pull you away from consistency. Foundational investing principles don't change. And those are diversification, time, discipline, and patience. If you really want to experiment, keep it small. 5 to 10% is enough to learn. Your course should stay boring. I've seen people do very well by barely checking their portfolio. Some people fund their accounts once a year, invest and forget. Constant checking creates noise, noise creates bad decisions. So long-term investing rewards boredom. So these are all the 10 points that we discussed today, and you can take a screenshot of this. These mindsets didn't come from one book or one video. They come from time, mistakes, practice. I'm still learning, this isn't finished. But thinking this way has helped me stay consistent, calm, and focused on the long run. Before I end this video, I want to hear from you. If you have your own experience with money, investing, business, or investing in yourself, share them in the comments. If certain mindsets helped you or slowed you down, I'd genuinely like to know. This channel is all about learning in public, and different perspectives do matter. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.